Battlerite unleashes a new champion and limited time game mode. Paladins kicks off its first major lore event. World of Warships finds its way into space, and a wild Vanguardian appears in Trove's latest expansion. What's happening, guys? James Blonde here with a weekly recap for gaming news and announcements of the week of March 30th, 2018. And kicking off this week's news, we have Shroud of the Avatar, launching March 27th this past week, bringing Richard Garriott's vision of a new Britannia to life. The game combines many of the key features that made the Ultima series popular, including the freedom to explore a living fantasy world, a player-driven crafting and economic system, the ability to create a classless avatar, and a really engaging storyline. We got the opportunity to talk to Richard Garriott himself a couple years ago at E3, see the game early on, and it looks like it's come a long ways since then. Throughout the game, players will also be confronted with ethical choices based on virtues and principles, and an experience that can be shared online with friends or played solo. Looks like one we're going to have to check out. Tapping back into some older news, now that it's become a little bit relevant, Tera Online announced its official release date for the MMO on consoles. So now players will be able to experience the action combat that Tera Online has become so well known for on the PS4 and Xbox One this April 3rd, next week. Players who just can't wait to get their hands on the console version of the game, of course, can purchase a Founders Pack that will give them access, a full week head start access. So that's already going on currently, as well as a variety of compelling in-game items that die-hard players won't want to miss out on. Pretty cool stuff. Next up, with Open Beta 68 and Paladins, comes the game's first major lore event called Siege of Ascension Peak. In this event, Paladin and Magistrate forces duke it out on the game's newest map, known as Ascension Peak. Players can fight to turn the tide of battle in favor of the Paladins, or defeat Yenos on behalf of House Ico. The event will also feature 3 exclusive bundles, and players that purchase all 3 of these bundles will unlock the limited Yenos Soul Eater bundle for free, which is kind of nice. Other big news for this event is the change in how skins work. No longer will Paladin skins be pieced together, and instead will be bought, purchased, and used as complete, entire skins. This change is intended to improve the quality of skins created and will free developers from the tedious task of and limitations dealing with making sure that all of these skin pieces fit together properly and don't look terrible, which is probably hard to do. Players who owned a cosmetic piece of skin before the update will receive the entire skin, ensuring nobody loses out on skin pieces they've acquired. This is getting creepy, talking about a bunch of skin. On perhaps a slightly similar note, Battlerite unleashed the new champion this week, Ulrich, the Unwavering Light. Wielding a Hammer of Justice, Holy Light, and the Aegis of Divinity, Ulrich is focused on supporting his team with his shields and healing skills, but that doesn't mean you want to get into a melee fight with him either. Ulrich can obviously handle himself quite well with his ferocious attacks, to say the least. But in addition to Ulrich's release, the limited-time game mode Bako's Egg Brawl is temporarily replacing Duel. Here you play on a team of Bakos hunting for magical eggs hidden around the arena. You get to hurl them at your enemies and discover a variety of custom battle rights in a very chaotic-looking game mode. Win enough of these rounds and you can acquire some really rare items as well. Could be fun. Up next, Trove's latest expansion is here in Trove Heroes. Most notably, this expansion adds in the new class Vanguardian, as well as the city of Luminopolis. The 16th class in Trove brings about a lot of new functionality in the game, and can swap between 2 different forms. The Vanguardian's melee form has a flurry of punch combos and eye lasers, whereas the range form gives the Vanguardian the ability to fire plasma blasts and fiery orbs at his enemies. Because why not? The expansion is also loaded up with new allies, materials, mounts, and beacons, which can be used to summon Mega World Bosses. Just had to sound epic. The new adventures in the game also include rampages, which are events when giant kaiju spawn from Neon City. The kaiju are titanic in size and can take chunks out of buildings with their mighty swings. And of course they require tons of players in order to bring them down, so that's always good. Needless to say, this expansion is packed full of new content. Check out the link in the description below for even more details. Next up, Crossout received a massive update this past week, focusing heavily on the game's PvE experience. Instead of the previously known single-stage missions, raid players can tackle a multitude of complex and rewarding scenarios, each holding their own storyline, enemies, and tasks. Instead of something simple like escort the truck mission, you would have something like steal a cargo truck, fight to keep it, and defend it while refueling in order to make sure that it can make it the rest of the way home. That's some real Mad Max stuff right there. So there are now 8 varied raids in total, and more scenarios are going to be unveiled in later updates. Crossout is also going to be participating in a special April Fool's event that highlights many of the creative and crazy vehicles that the community has come up with. These designs are seeing a boost to their performance in order to make them more viable for battle, and are being put in a special brawl mode where players won't know exactly what they're getting until the game starts. That can be pretty fun. On a slightly similar note, World of Warships is seeing an update for a special April Fool's release that goes beyond the sea and takes to the stars. In the spirit of trying something new, of course, World of Warships will see 9 new Tier 10 spaceships making an appearance that will enable players to battle in
space.
The limited time Space Warships game mode will be available to all level 12 players who have a tier 6 ship or higher. And to unlock the spaceships, of course, you'll have to first complete a special battle mission. Don't miss out on your chance to try this out. These game modes are usually fun when it comes to wargaming. And finally, Has-Been Games, makers of Battle Discs, are working together with Black Desert to bring you a new TCG that... who am I kidding? April Fool's is on Sunday, so I figured, I'd get in the spirit a little. It also happens to be Easter, which is a bit weird. Might just want to stay home and play some games. Could be dangerous with that combination. Anyway, guys, that's about it for all the major news and announcements this week. Like always, thanks for your support. For more information on the news topics, check the links in the description below. Feel free to discuss the news and more news in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it from me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.